All right. So I'm now recording this session. All right. So here, we want to cut, or there's other things you can do. So let's back up a minute here, and let's talk about regular expression. This is Michael's favorite things is regular expression. He's a pro. So anybody got questions for regular expression? See, see Michael on that. All right. All right, so let's do regular expression bash. This TLDP has been around for ages. I mean, they're still good, but their stuff is kind of old. Let's see if we can find a little something up to date here. Let's go something in the past year. Of course, it's gonna be Stack Overflow. Let me go back. Let's go back. See what we find here. Anytime. No, not you. They're called, I know who I'm looking for. These guys, I think they're called is it Team Nick or Mint, something like that? Bash. Can't remember their names. Yeah, these guys. They're usually pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna send you guys this link. Alright, so here's a good one. Yeah. So you see, here's their for loop. Basically, so they start out with $1, $0, $1. Okay, yeah, and they're breaking all that stuff down for you. Okay, that's a good one just to read through and follow, uh, so you can get a basic understanding. You don't have to do it like right now, but it will help you when it comes down to like regular expression and understanding. But what we're going to use tonight is the awk command. And we can also use the cut command. Awk and cut. I prefer cut. I think cut is it's not as I guess clunky to me um as awk is. I'm not sure. How did you feel about it, Sergio? Because you went through it. You like awk? I like cut. See, cut. I think it's just really kind of simple. All right, so let's see. Let me show you cut. So cut. When I say cut, I want to cut on, say, for instance, I see this. Each field is delimited by colons. So that's field one, and then anything after the colon creates the next field. That's field two, field three, field four. There's a space there. Field five, field six, and field seven. In this case, let's just say I want field one, and I know it's delimited by colons. And you can see I'm getting everything. I tailed my file. I got the last 4 lines of my file. And then I cut on field one, and I know it's delimited by colon. The default is tab. So now I'm getting everything that's delimited by colon and in those fields. So for instance, because we're doing an IPA add, which is on this guy here. Um, do do do. Should be this guy. Okay, that's fine. Hold on. Okay, see, yeah. So we're right. We're right on track. I thought it was that guy. So I could do an IPA user add help. Oh, that's awesome. I think it's the other way around. IPA help user add, I believe. Yeah. All right. So in here, I have and I'll go back to the Red Hat documentation. I had to get the first. I have these things that I can actually put in. So I can have like the first name, the last name, the CN string, which is the full name, the display name, your initials, your home directory, your G-code is your full display name, and the login shell. And then I can actually add in your UID, your GID. I can give it a random password and let it do a random password, and it'll do all of that for me. All right. So in this case, let's grab all these fields. Uh, who knew? All right. We need field 1. Remember, field 1 is who knew. And then we need the UID, the GID, which is field 3 and 4. We need field, so 1, 2, I'll go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we need 6 and 7. So as you can see, it's delimited and it's showing me fields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yeah. So those are the fields that we got, which is great. All right. So now what I can do, let me go over here to my actual machine and go back to users. I see I don't have a who knew in there, right? All right, so let's go back to here. Let's grab this guy. That's clear. Can everybody see on this black background? Is that too hard on the eyes? Because I can change it. Sandra, you okay with the color? Okay. All right. So let me go back up here to my user add. Let's pipe this over to less. Let's grab this guy. Same as what I did before. Let's just grab all the way down. Did I get random? Well, I just know random is this. And let's open up text edit. New document. All right. Background, sure. No, you don't like me? No. I don't know why you don't like me, but okay. Whatever. All right, so now we know we got this guy we want to do, and this is where the script comes into play. So we want to do an IPA user add, dash user add. All right, and then we want the first name. So we got to give it the username. In this case, it's who knew. And then we have to give it the first string. So let's do first equal to who, and dash last equal to new, and then the full name dash cn equal to who knew, and we can skip initials right now. Well, let's do it because I want to show you how we broke it down the last time. WK, the home directory dash home dir, equal to /home who knew, and the -- G codes we can leave it, -- shell we can say is equal to bin bash, and I'm gonna put that in quotes. I should do the other one in quotes just in case, so it takes it as a string. And the last thing we need is this -- random. It's gonna assign random passwords. It's gonna also assign random GID and UID. So it did its thing. You see the random password it created. It created the home directory and everything. And if I go over here, I should see who knew if I'm still logged in. In here, I click on that user. There's the random GID, and all the other stuff that I filled out. So I'm showing that so that when we make our script, we make our script to say, I think I put it in root. I don't remember. No, I didn't. We make our script so that we can add 20 users just using this command here. And you say, well, where do we get those 20 users from? Well, we could do a couple of things. If I was migrating, say I was migrating these users from this location here, I can put this into a file, stored in temp users.txt, right? And when I open up temp users.txt, I would then, say, okay, well, when I'll do my for loop, which I did before, I'll go here to /opt. I don't know what I did with I might have put them under here. Let's see. That's January 25th. That's not it. Is he in here? Nope. I don't know. I don't know what I did with him. I think this is just showing the range. Yeah. For names test 1, test 2, I did a do user add. So I can create some users, some fake users in here and add these users. But if I were migrating those users, I would walk through, and I think Sergio did this if he's willing to share his for loop, because we worked on this. I gotta recreate mine, but I know he has his. Are you willing to share yours, Sergio? You can't share yours. Hold on, I'll grab that. So, um, all right. So Sergio used awk, right? So let's go up here. And you don't have to use bash. You can use Python if you wanted to. So Sergio went through and said, well, print off the first string of, the first column of etc password, and his delimiter is colon, as we recognize, and that's usernames. And so what you're doing here is you're saying, hey, please enter a username, and it's reading from command line and puts it in the username. Input the username, and then you walk through the loop and says, okay, hey, if that user is in there, then we don't want to add that user. But if the user is not in there, then let's add the user. that was the gist of what I had sent. That's what I wanted everyone to work on today. I know it's not complete, but what I wanted everyone to work on today was understanding bash scripts and how to, and for loops and while loops, and how to check for if the user exists or if the user doesn't exist. So if you guys want to work on want to hammer that out, we can switch. I could switch terminals and we can walk through hammering that out. Does anybody have any questions so far about what we've covered? No? Everyone's okay? Okay. I'm going to take that as a yes. All right. All right. So in here, I don't remember where my user it was, but we're just going to start from scratch. How about that? See, I'll check it one more time. Yeah, I don't remember where it was, but all right. Nevertheless, let's users add.sh. All right. And we could do a couple of things. Can you guys see on that blue? It's a little hard. I'm sorry. Let me get out of here. Let me switch over to basic and Ansible 2. Really? I don't think it's in my thing. Oh, it is. All right. Good job, Tim. And I usually store all my stuff in opt, just for layout purposes. Of that's one of the directories you can really use. You can make a directory and use it as well too. All right, so users.sh, and let's go here. Let's make some comments in here. We want to add users via IPA user add command. All right, and so in this case, we need to first, if we had users to migrate, we want to migrate users. So in this case, let's go over some for loops. For loop add users bash, so you guys can follow along. So that's one way. As you can see, for I in, you can go all the way out, or you can read a file. In our case, we don't have any users in there, but we can cheat and do this guy. I really didn't want to do that, but until I find my other script, we can do this. And we'll get rid of the echo, because we're not echoing. We're actually going to user add $I. And here, we'll look at the user add command too. I want to add some stuff here. User add Jim, Kelly, Bob, Bill, Tamika, Martam, D, Sergio, Sandra. All right, let's go over here and let's do a man on user add. Right. So with my user add command, I can add the base directory is always going to be home. So the base dir home dir. It's going to always be /home and then the username. So I don't need to change that. But I may want to I may want to add that as a comment. So I may want to come here, do a -C $I. All right. The GID and the UID I don't care about. Boop 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 password I don't care about. I just in the shell we can leave that as bin bash. And that's it. But if you had other users, like if you had a user that needed a specific UID, you could use this to do that. Use some of these commands to do that, just that, like the -G and their GID would be 501, 502, 503 or whatever. But this is going to implement it for me. And let's do one other thing. Let's echo user add $I -C $I, so we can see what it's doing. And then chmod plus X, only because I just want to run the script as is and not. All right, so you can see I echoed it out. This is what it did. It added those users for me. And then if I did a ls on /home, you can see those users have been added. And if I do a tail dash, let's do the last 20 lines on etc password, you'll see what I did here. I took the user and that comment, remember before it was blank, I just made sure that the user, that comment didn't have a blank line. How does that relate to what we're doing in IPA? Well, in IPA, when we go to users and we go to full name, that's the full name that gets displayed, and the GCOS name, that's that name that gets displayed. That's that parameter. Any questions? Does this make sense to everyone? Okay, so with that being said, I've added my users. I have my list of users. So now let's do my ls and temp. So I don't have anything there. So as we did before, we can do a cat on etc. And let me clear this and clear this in the background. All right. So now I can do a cat on etc password. I can cut -fill. Oh yeah, fill 1. I think it was 3, 4, 6, and 7 on colon. Make sure that's it. User ID, the home directory. Oh, we didn't get the comment. So let me open that file up. Go down to the bottom. So 1, 2, see 3, 4. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there we go. So we have those lines, right? So let's do a tail and get the last 10. Right? We can just basically cut and paste this. I could have moved it over to a temp, redirected it to a temp file, but whatever. This is works just as well. Okay, so we have our user. All right. So let's go back into our user's sh file. And now we can actually just comment this out because we used it to add our users. I didn't do the check like I originally wanted to, but that's okay. We can come back and do that next week. So now we're going to use this bash script to add those users into IPA. So now we need to read a file. So let's look at that. Read file bash. Yep, line by line. Let's see who's got the best solution. Yeah, that's a good one, but I don't want to get into the IFS field separators. Then that may be like a long-winded example. I like WoW, but I also like Cat. So let's see who's got a good one. That's an easy one for you guys to follow along. For loop. Everybody's doing a read line. Yeah, I don't like them. Let's do read file with a cat command. And yeah, there's the redirect. That's cool. Come on, catch up. There you go. Alright, there we go. This guy here is the cat. Alright, so we want to do a 4. And remember, we want to read a line. And let's go ahead and do the done. Alright, so 4. And no, we need the $I. Oh, what I put it at? I put it in temp. Users dot. Ooh, what I say? Did I save it as a dot text? I gotta double check that. Hold on. Oh, look at that. Move users temp. Move users dot over to. There we go. That would have been a disaster. Alright. One thing we want to do is I'm not finished with my forward statement yet. We want to, we can echo $I. So the one thing you always do is double check to make sure that you can read your file. And then once you make sure that you can read your file, then you can start breaking down your file into, or the contents of your file, you can start manipulating the strings. And that's what I showed the other week, how to do string manipulation with substrings and getting single characters. So in this case right here, they did a cat on the file, and then they did while you're reading the line, they just echoed a line. I like that and I don't like that. Michael, what's that? What was the way I did it before? I know I did a back tick on the file just to read the file. I can't remember how I did it. I actually like that way better. Let me, no, yeah, the for command, yeah. I forget. I always forget this. I don't know why. For loop, read file, for loop, read file, bash. That's a while. That's a while. They don't have it. No one, everyone wants to use a while loop. I like using for loops. You cat the file. Here we go. This is it. I see it. I see you, Michael. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Mm-mm. Just like Michael have, just like here, right here. All right. So you can do the back ticks too. I had to pull out my stuff, my notes. Yeah, I think you have to do this here. And we'll find out in a minute. Do 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 do. And hit the $sign here. And do 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 do. That's it. No ticks. You sure? I think you need ticks. Let's find out. Invalid. What I miss? For I, not $sign I. All right. So we printed off the line. Hey, that's interesting. New read. They didn't have the home. That's interesting. But that's okay, because we're only going to play with these guys. So let's go over here to temp. And wonder why? Oh, because it didn't like the space, I bet you. I bet you that's what it is. Yep, it didn't like the space. So we got that, we're echoing out a file. So, alright, let's clear this. And let's open up the file again. And here we know we echoed that out, but now we can do what we did before with the cut. Dash field 1. And delimited by characters. Delimited by colons. And when we run it, you'll see we get the first field, which happens to be what? Our username. So we can store that into a variable. Alright. And we can call it username. Oopsie. It is not echo. Is it echo? Yeah. It's this guy, right? I can do this, right, Mike? And $, username. Let's see what happens here. There we go. So we've echoed it out and put it into username. And basically all you're doing now is just cutting each field, because remember, we need these parameters: first, last, string, display, home dir, all of that. So we got the username. Okay, so let's go here and let's do first is equal to, in this case, echo $I, and then we want to cut. So let me go hop on this box. So we know that if we in this case, I don't have a first and last name, so we'll pretend like the first name is the first and the last name. But uh if we did have that last name, you would get it from this field here. That's the one where we did the comment, and I didn't put in a last name. I just put in the person's first name. Is usually the first and last name is the comment. So let's just leave it as $. Let's leave it the same. All right, and then let's yank this and paste and change it to last. So now we have our first name, our last name, and this is where we were getting crazy with it. Initials. When we do initials, we were doing this, and we may need to do some substring manipulation on this, and I'm gonna have to look that one up again. Hold on, let's do that. Substring manipulation on string. Substring bash. Yeah. So in substring manipulation, so here, let me show you this. So let's play around with this real quick. Let me see. Do, 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 do. I want to get position 6 and then position 3. Oh, here we go, right here. All right. Let's set this string up in our bash shell. Right? And then we can echo string Z. Oh, echo string Z. So that's string Z. So with this manipulation, it's telling me, take string Z and get get 0. Hold on. Let me show you that. So it got everything, right? And then 1, it moves over one character and doesn't take the next character, and gets everything from the left of the first character, right? But what if I just want the first character? I just want the first character. that was what we were working on. Like, how do we get the first character? And I put, and it's a then that's when the substring came out. So here it says, get me to the left of the left of the seventh character. Give me the three strings after that. So let's go look at it. Colon 7:3. Right. So look at it. That's one. Well, let's go back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then three letters after that. 1, 2, 3, which is what that is. But what if I just wanted the first character? Do colon -1. Nope. How about 0:1? Yeah. So 0 and the first character after that is that. So with that example, if I wanted to manipulate this even further, I can go and say, okay, well, I cut, right, on, and I'm getting initials, so I can just use the first field if I wanted to, -D and colon, sorry. And then I can pipe that over to, I think it's echo, $, and we're cutting on $I. Yeah. And we're gonna get field 1. And what did I do to do that? 0, 1. Let's see what happens. And then let's go back up here. And let's just comment these out. And then let's echo initials. And I spelled that wrong. Did I not? That looks right. I don't remember. I had to look it up. I think that's right. Alright, so let's echo that. Okay. Let's see where is the error. Oh, and then close it. That would echo initials. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. So we got the first initials of everybody's name. That's upstream manipulation. And we can treat that like it is. We can just leave that as an initial. But if you wanted to get their initials, you could do same thing, substream manipulation, but you could, let me get logged in. You could have taken, let's see, this display name right here. And usually, like I said, it's a comment inside of Bash, inside of the etc password. And then you're delimiting on space. So you can just grab the first half of that and say, give me some, and then do substring manipulation, give me the S, and then give me the U on the next one. Because it's delimited by space. So you just get the next field, which would be delimited by space. In this case, we don't have that right now. All right. So we got that. Where is my thingy? I'm looking for text edit. That's what I'm looking for. So we got the initials. Now we need to get the home directory. You're not the right one. You are. So home dir is equal to really this guy here. Let's just highlight this. The field changes now. And the field is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Field 5. So now we just change that to 5. And paste. We want to go to the shell, which is now field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Field 6 in this case. Oh yeah. Shell. Right? Okay. And then here let's just echo a $sign username, $sign first, $sign last, $sign initials, however I spelled that wrong, $sign holder, and $sign shell, and echo that out for me. So we got, what we expected. Boom. Right? So we have everything that we expected. Right? So when we go back in here, we echoed that out, but now we're ready for our IPA command. User -add $sign username, and it's going to be like we did it over here. This guy, dash $sign username. It should be, yeah, so it's going to be $sign username because you have to have the username afterwards. And then it's dash first. In this case, our first is $sign first. And then dash last equal to $sign last, dash initials. And I gotta spell this right. Initial equal to $sign, my incorrect spelling of initials. And dash holder. I'm gonna put this in single ticks. I may not need it, but I'm just protecting myself. And let me scoot that over. It's running off my screen for me. And then dash shell is equal to $sign shell and random, because I want to generate a random password. And I'm not worried about the GID and the UID. Well, let's take that back. I could actually do that. Let's user ID is equal to the same thing here. You just need to change the field. And I'll go grab that field in a minute. Hold on. All right, let's go back over here. Where is he at? User text. Okay, so the first field is the GID and the second field is the UID. So I want to grab 2 and 3. So in this case, where'd you go, fellas? Where you at? There you are. I want to grab field 2, field 3. In here, I can come and say, let's go right here and put it right here. I can now say dash dash. They called it GID number. GID number is equal to, for me, $ group ID. And I think I'm gonna assume it's UID number. UID number is equal to $user ID. All right. So now we should run this. Okay, syntax, no problem. We messed up something on line 20. Let's do set in U to give us line numbers. Line 20, I am missing the $. There. Line 26, set in U. Line 26, where are you crapping out on? Oh, you don't like my user add. What did I miss there? The ticks after the shell. Talking about these ticks?
See how older is a
Holder.
different concept.
Holder.
Yeah.
Alright. I think that's it. Alright, so we got an error. Dash dash UID number doesn't like me. Let me go and delete these people. Let's see, what is it called? I guess I said it was UID number. And that's probably not it. It's just UID. Alright. Alright. So let's get rid of UID number and call it UID. And let me save that. Let me go over here and make sure those users didn't get added, which they shouldn't have, but we'll just double verify. No, they didn't get added. Okay. So now let's run this guy again. This echoing out. As you can see, it's printing out and it's giving me my random passwords for each one of those users. Those users now should show up over here. I'm gonna do a refresh. And those users are now added. And as you can see, they're added with my GID number, and they're added, and these users that get created naturally are created with this GID number. Why is that? The reason for that is because in Rel 7, if you look at etc pam.d system auth, your UID number and your GID number now has to be greater than 1,000. If not, you can't log in. So if I want these users to log in, I have to come into this file and do %s 1000, change that to 500 globally in that file, and I'm not going to save it. And then I will also have to come over here to password, password auth, and I have to do the same thing in here, change that 1,000 to 500. So that those users could now be able to log in into my site. So what we covered so far in the past couple of weeks. We covered making using Ansible to make us an IPA server. We've also covered Bash scripts, reading and writing, and creating for loops and while loops, uh, doing string manipulation. And then the next two things we have to do is we have to build out a client using Ansible and build out the NFS server. Uh, we don't have to use Ansible for that, but we just need to build out an NFS server and make sure that server is a part of our Ansible, not an Ansible, but part of our actual infrastructure, and then that way those users can log in. So right now, those users can't. They can log in, but they won't get a home directory. So next week, what we will cover, and I can briefly go over this. If you look inside of network file system. So if you look inside of this guy, where are you? I had one. That's okay. We can just come here and exit out. Let's go to our downloads. Ansible Wednesday. All right, if we go here and look at my IPA client, which I already have built out, we're going to use this guy, and this is all wrong. Let's see. Percent s cng.com to womeninlinux.com. Change it globally. Thank you. All right. So basically, what we're gonna have is everywhere we see uh, every client that we create, which we could just use a little small one, we're gonna deploy this Ansible script here, and I'll walk through it step by step next week on what it actually you need to do. So let's go back to this guy. We use this as a frame of reference, but it also shows you how to, that's adding users, changing, we need to add clients, setting up an IDM client, full procedure manually, installing the client, full example. So let's go here. All right, so this right here is a manual way of adding everything that you need to do for the actual clients. Like say you had a client and it didn't work, this the manual way of line by line doing it. We're not going to do that. There is an easier way. Let's here we go. Let's see. Yeah, so you do the IPA client install, and it basically goes through and you manually answer these questions here. But because we have our Ansible script right here, I went ahead and put all the answers that you need in here. Like so you got a client install, your domain, your server. This is a variable. IPA server is a variable. Women in Linux, bad password, principal, admin, and the -u tells me to lets it know to do it via un un what's the word I'm looking for? Unattended. And then I walked through and set up the services that needed, the key tab, the NSS switch, everything that you could possibly need to get this going. I set all of that up, and we walked through and it installs it. So you can look at this as my host. Um, let's history grep host. So 139. if I had say 40 hosts under Digital Ocean Web or GCP, and in my file I tell it what host I want. So say I want to do DO Web, it's going to go to DO Web and all the hosts that's listed under there. It's going to run this Ansible script for me and install everything that I need. And so, with that being said, I don't have to touch the machines in order to get them set up. Once it's done installing, they will show up here on my host. So we are going to do that next week. I'm gonna walk you through setting up the NFS server and setting up your Ansible script, and then we're gonna deploy a client. Everybody will get a second box. So we can use GCP. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get a second box, and then you're gonna run that Ansible script on that second box, and it's gonna show up inside of free IPA of inside your free IPA server, or you can use it to show up inside of my free IPA server. It doesn't matter if you don't have one built, but the goal is to show you how that worked, and then you can then use these users inside of here to log in, and their home directory be centralized in a central location, and then they'll log in. Does that make sense for everybody? Does that sound like a reasonable thing to do? All right. So that's for next week. What I do want to end this week on is I wanted to end this week on welcoming Sandra to the actual meetup. Thanks for coming out.